because I lived so close, I was able to be one of the first ones on. The gates kind of shut after I got onto the base. So I got into the ready room, and my commanding officer or executive officer sort of looked around, and there weren't a whole lot of us to man the jets. And I remember sort of getting the nod, but it was a reluctant nod from my superiors because I was so junior. And they were like, well, we're going to have to put you in the cockpit, McGrath. And they did. Went out to the combined arms loading area on the other side of the base and hopped into a fully loaded with air-to-air missiles, sidewinders and AMRAAMs, radar and heat-seeking missiles into an F-18.
I was just north of the South Tower, kind of like right in between them, kind of the way they were. And I heard this lady yell, oh my God, there's another one. So as it hit, the like exit hole of the second tower was right above me. The exit hole fireball, I felt it like on my face. Like it was like one of those, like the heat was just so extreme. It was really, really, really can't describe it.
I think that was the time for a lot of us that the whole thing became really, really, really real for us. Of course, we'd shown up and seen the disaster from the outside, but once you walked into those hallways in complete darkness, with a couple of fires still burning in a couple different locations, and it just, it was like something out of a movie, something out of an absolute nightmare. That's where things kind of, I don't want to say went downhill, but that's where things kind of went from moving stuff around to finding remains and assisting with remains recovery. We would try to, if we located something, and more often than not, it was a piece. I won't mince words about it at all. It was a piece. There were in our area, and I think we were very fortunate in my company specifically, my platoon specifically, really. We were fortunate because we were very close to the actual impact area and on the ground floor, where most of what you were dealing with, you knew it was a human, you knew that it had been human at one point. But you could disassociate yourself from what it was because, it was a foot, it was a hand, it was something of that nature.
For the next 3.5 to 4 hours, we sat on that runway with live weapons, ready to launch to defend the west coast of the United States. And our orders would have been to shoot down any commercial aircraft coming in who was not following the orders. I remember being in the cockpit and just part of me thinking, oh my gosh, what am I about to do here? What is my country asking me to do? And the other part of me thinking, I'm trained, I'm here, this is what I signed up for. And if my country needs me to do this, I've got to do it.
Lots of screaming, lots of yelling and whatever. And the whole thing was get people away. So people are pouring out of the buildings, but it's bad. I mean, there's stuff is pouring out of the buildings. The buildings are billowing smoke. People started to jump, which was terrible. Some firefighter dude was like, it's going. And everyone just started to run. There's a wall of stuff chasing us up, chasing everybody up whatever direction you were going in. And truly, there are no words to describe it. You really can't. I've seen people have taken video, found videos and stuff and camera footage and everything else, and none of it does it justice. None of it. I was truly, I remember thinking I'm gonna die, and I remember thinking I hope that I'm found, and I hope it's not too painful. So I headed back down, and then it was same song, different verse, and Tower One came screaming down. I don't really remember much of it, to be frank. I just remember not really believing, like, here we go again, like so unbelievably scared because I already done this once, and round one was unsurvivable. And like, there's no way lightning doesn't strike twice. Like I've used all 9 of my lives in the last half hour.
For us, I think the hardest part for me, because I've always been, kind of fatherly, I guess, even before I had kids, was finding things that you knew were children's items, backpacks. It was odd. It was weird how fireworks, and you would, in one section, you'd have what was clearly the skin of the aircraft melted down to absolutely nothing, and then you would find 10 feet away from it a child's backpack that had a couple of burn marks on it. We would find places where you could find the seat from the actual aircraft. It was mostly intact, and it was burned. All the fabric was burned off of it, but you could tell it was a seat off a plane. And just all around, it's nothing but absolute destruction. But here's this piece that survived.